There was a message today from Ezra Klein, new New York columnist, that I think people should heed. Let's listen to it, and then I want to say a few things on the other side. Check this out.
Ezra, you know there's going to be a big debate within the Democratic Party about what Biden should do. Should you take this moment, which may be just 2 years, where you have the Senate and the House, and do something big? Should you go do something more incremental? Should Joe Manchin be the power broker in Washington? What's your advice?
I'm writing a piece on this now, and it's very simple. Just help people fast. That's it. Everything you can do to help people fast, to reattach them to politics, to show them that it matters who is in charge, who is in government. It is notable that on the same day as the insurrection at the Capitol, what happened that reshaped politics that day was not that Trumpists took back the Capitol, which they didn't. It's that Democrats took back the Senate, which they actually did. So they are now going to have an opportunity to govern as a trifecta, as a governing trifecta. And they need to help people. They need to make that matter. They need to make it matter in clear and visible ways. They need to make it matter in a way where people know the government helped them, the Democrats helped them, and that politics matters beyond these symbolic collisions, beyond what they see on Twitter. It actually matters for getting things like vaccine rollout right, but also getting checks into their hands, getting health insurance more secure, getting climate change under control, and 100 other things that need to happen. Democrats can't be too technocratic and clever. They can't wait too long to roll out their help. They can't get involved in gangs and negotiations forever. They just have to help people fast.
So you have in the past been in favor of, electoral college reform or ending the filibuster or Puerto Rico DC statehood. You would say, let that all take a back seat. First, just get money out, fix problems fast.
I wouldn't say that necessarily takes a back seat. Whether they can do it, we'll see, but particularly filibuster reform, getting rid of the filibuster or deciding to open up budget reconciliation a new way is going to be necessary to legislate quickly. Process is policy in these regards. If you can't get anything from the Senate, you can't help people. So the idea that you can separate process and policy just isn't true. And I would say for the Joe Manchins of the world, if they think they're going to get reelected, if people don't like how Joe Biden and the Democrats govern, they are wrong. That was a mistake Democrats made, red state Democrats made in 2009, and they got wiped out in 2010. The way you get reelected if you're in a purple or red state is people think your party did a great job. They're not going to separate you from the president. They're going to judge you based on how they judge the president.
And that is something, first of all, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin ought to see and see quickly, because he will be the stumbling block for Democrats as we go for filibuster reform. He's the one that will want to block it. The only way we can get things done fast is if we get rid of the filibuster. The only way we can show people that government work is that we don't have those who don't believe that government works for the regular person to create backstops, to create backlogs. The only way to avoid that is to go immediately against the filibuster and make sure that Democrats can put through the policies that help people fast. One, get checks into their hands. Two, make sure that we start to move employment. Two, make sure that we get the pandemic under control. Three, make sure that we start generating jobs with infrastructure projects immediately. It can be done, but you have to take out the roadblocks. You have to take out all those people that are going to run into Washington, the lobbyists that are going to run into Washington to get their piece of the pie, not the piece of the pie for the American people, but the corporate piece of the pie they're going to be fighting over as Americans wait to see what corporate piece of the pie will help the American people. Absolutamente no. We need to make sure and decide, be decisive, get rid of the filibuster, bring in Puerto Rico as a state and DC as a state. All of that can be done concurrently. It's not like these guys have a hell of a lot of work to do other than legislate. And let's be clear, it's not a foregone conclusion that the party in power will lose seats in the Congress, in the House. So let's be clear here. If you help people fast, it is guaranteed that you will pick up Senate seats in the midterms. It is guaranteed that you will pick up House seats in the midterm. So if you follow the path, it's not only going to be a success for the American people, but it will be a success for growing the Democratic Party. So let's get busy and help people fast. Ezra Klein is absolutely right. Make Americans see visibly in their pocketbooks that government does work and that plutocracy is the enemy. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.